Let's take a trip back to November 2005. What happened that time is we were coaching a football team, and we had a very good team. And we wasn't ready to see our season end because at the very beginning of the season, I told our boys, if y'all listen to me, I'm a coach defense. Y'all do what y'all want on offense, but I promise you, nobody's gonna score on us. And guess what? They didn't score on us. We was undefeated, and we had a band of little monsters. So one of the coaches was doing some research, and he found that there was a football tournament in Cleveland, Ohio. It was the Ted Ginn Senior Tournament. So we decided that we were going to go to Ohio and play in this tournament, which was great. I got busy raising money, was able to secure a van to transport some of the kids that their parents wasn't going, and off we went to Cleveland, Ohio. Once we got there, the hotel we checked into was a very, very nice hotel. It was downtown. And so, kids got settled in. We made sure everybody was safe and doing what they had to do to get their mind straight for the game the next morning. So, when we were going to the game, we found out our first opponent, and our first opponent was this team from Maple Heights. Now, they had been undefeated for 3 years, and we were from one of the smaller cities in this tournament. I mean, there was all-star teams. There was teams, of course, from Cincinnati. There was teams from Cleveland, of course. There was teams from Youngstown, Maple Heights. There was all kinds of these Ohio teams. And if you know anything about Ohio football is, like a little bitty Texas. Wherever you go, there's a university, there's a college, a high school, nothing but gloried programs of football excellent all through Ohio. And here we are, just a little bitty team. We only picked up like a couple other people that was in the league with us. So this was basically our team going up against some monsters in Ohio, in Cleveland, that is. So we teed up against Maple Heights. Lo and behold, we ended up beating Maple Heights. It was a great coaching effort on my part because they had this kid. I promise you, he looked like Michael Vick or Deshaun Watson. He looked like some person that we ain't never played before. But I refuse for us to drive all the way to Cleveland and for us to get beat. Not gonna happen. So we go back to the hotel, and of course we're hyped. We're just jacked. Kids is bumping around, strutting. Everybody's having a good time, right? Telephone call came. Next game, guess who we were about to play? Ted Ginn's team. All of a sudden, it was like somebody threw a wet blanket on a fire. The kids got all quiet. We got to play Ted Ginn's team? And I'm just like, hey, they're kids just like you guys. Come on now. We're going to go out and compete. And then I never understood, how come our kids got scared all of a sudden. I was like, giving them my rah-rah in the hotel. Come on, we're going to go and shake things up. I tell you what, we wasn't shaking nothing up with this team. You hear me? Some of them kids drove themselves to the football game that was on Ted Ginn's team. They drove themselves. Some of them jokers had tattoos. I was speaking to the referee. I was like, wait a second. Now, everybody on our team is 14 and under. We got kids over here driving to the game. He was like, well, they can play JFL in this league up until you're a sophomore in high school. I said, what? The rules never said that. So now I understood why our kids were scared. Because they got to meet the Ted Ginn's team after our first game with Maple Heights, as we were doing our coaches meeting, plotting out the game plan for the next game. Unbeknownst to us, our kids was interacting with the Ted Ginn's kids, which were not kids. Like I said, some had tattoos, and some of them drove themselves to the football game. So I understand why the kids got absolutely intimidated by these little monsters. And I'm telling you, that's what they were. They was little monsters. I think we ended up losing that game 41-7, 41 nothing. It wasn't nothing nice. They opened up a can of whoop beep on us. You feel me? But we went, we competed, we played the third game. It was against a team from Cincinnati, and it was an all-star team. They all had different helmets and everything else, and we lost that game. What was it, 7-6? We lost that game 7-6 to an all-star Cincinnati team. So yeah, where we are from, our little team was a team of straight dogs. Now, had we put together a Central Illinois football team, we would have wrecked shop, except for Ted Ginn's team, because that team was stacked. I love working with children. I love bringing the best out in my little soldiers that was playing defense for me. So, that is my story of the Ted Ginn Senior Football Tournament. You guys have a nice day.